Warning! Some viewers may find this podcast repugnant. Viewers' discretion is advised.
Liberty or Death podcast.
With your host, Twisted Josh.
Where our motto is facts and common sense over your feelings. No. Why do you gotta say that for?
What is up, everybody? What is up? What's happening? How you guys doing today? Hey, yo, thanks for tuning in. Oh, yo, you know who this is? You know who this is? This is your boy, Twisted Josh, man. Twisted Josh, of course. Let me make myself a little bit bigger. Oh, there we go. Bam, money. Yeah, legal U-turn. Hey, you know, how's everybody doing this weekend? It's what is up here in Florida? What's the temperature in Florida? Let me see here. It's probably like let me go to my weather app. Yeah, it's 84 degrees with the chance of, well, it's already raining outside. So anyway, all right. So what's going on, guys? What's going on? What is up? Hope everybody's doing okay and having a great week. Friday. Happy Friday, everybody. Happy Friday. Yep. Yeah, I decided to do this podcast because I wanted to make sure. I just wanted to get people's opinions on this, and you guys can chime in at any time if you want to. Totally up to you. No sweat off my balls. So anyway, yeah. Other than that, you know, let's get right down to it. Now we all know what's the deal with this. Let me make it. There you go. Bam, money. You know, but my thing is that how did he? I'm pretty sure everybody else would like to know how's he able to obtain a CDL, an illegal immigrant, like a legal migrant. Sorry, legal migrant immigrant. Yeah, an illegal migrant able to obtain a CDL. It's just weird in my book, man. It's weird. But, well, of course, he goes to California. You know, he's from the Bear State. So, you know, just to refresh everybody's memory here. Then we get right down to it. And we'll share this tab. No, I don't want to view it. Yeah, let's check this one out here. Ooh, that's a thunder. Well, some people say that okay, that said that passenger didn't show no remorse, but I think the passenger did say that this dude didn't show any remorse whatsoever. You know, you can see it. You know, he's like, yeah, oh well, just another day in the neighborhood. Oh, look at that, bam, money. That passenger looked like, what the heck? What happened? You know what I'm saying? So, or he might have been shocked, but you know, when I was scrolling through TikTok and stuff, they were basically stating that you know, these sleeper cells and blah 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 yada yada. Dude, what? I'm like trying to insinuate that this is a terrorist attack kind of thing, and I'm like, are you kidding me, bro? Like, really? Just like, really? Like, we're going there? And of course, you know, 6,000 views, you know, 6,000 likes and all that other stuff. And I'm like, really? This was a terrorist attack, or sleeper cell attack, or however you want to put it. You know, YouTube, you can do whatever you want to do. I really don't care. I don't, man. This YouTube is funny now. Now they're real quick. Now they're going to you know, now uploading my videos. You know, I'll admit I have a dummy account where I go in there and like it to get it ramped up. You know what I mean? and then all of a sudden, it gets 200 and something views, but it says no likes on it, which is weird. But anyway, whatever. It is what it is, and the machine, it just like I said, have a face a mother would that that a mother loves. You know what I mean? So, oh yeah, yeah. But anyway, yeah, I'm a troublemaker, man. I'm made for this ish, man. I'm made to start trouble. Anyway, so yeah, so they're just saying that oh this people on TikTok saying that oh this could be a sleeper cell attack, and I'm like, shut up, bonehead. Like seriously. Like you're such a this dude did make an idiot move, Mr. Singh. A bonehead move. And we'll go here too. I'm just I'm
Three
telling you,
souls
bro.
because you couldn't wait to go to the next
Hold on.
exit.
Hold on.
3 souls are gone because this truck driver right here decided to do an illegal U-turn on a Florida highway. 3 souls because you couldn't wait to go to the next exit.
Facts.
You couldn't wait to go down to the next exit and get off the ramp and then turn around. You had to do a U-turn in the middle of the highway when people are going 70 and 80 miles an hour. Come on, man.
Yeah, faster than that too.
They about to lock them up and throw away the key.
As they should.
3 souls are gone because
they
this
should.
truck driver right here decided to do an.
Yep. So, Mr. Singh, I'm not gonna butcher his first name, but yeah, okay. So 2018, as it states, in 2018, he came into United States illegally, was able to obtain a CDL from California, if that's correct. If my memory states it correct. 2018, it was then he was able to obtain a CDL through California, but they said that it was a non-domicile license, though, whatever that is. And I try to look that up, and you know what, I'll look it up right now. Damn it, let's do that. Remember, welcome to America's #1 slow growing podcast and underrated podcast. Seriously, real talk, underrated. Go ahead and give me a like, share, and comment, guys. Let's talk about this, because I'm not a truck driver. I try to, backstory, a little bit of backstory. I try to become a truck driver, but it's like I had to do 6 months of training, and you know what I'm saying, basically going without work kind of thing. But I have a friend that is or still is a truck driver, but he's done it, and he's getting, they get paid pretty good, so to speak. So it's like, that would have been one of my things, but I can't drive for a long time now. I guess it's because of my old age. I guess it's because of my age. Yeah. Anyway, so yeah. Yeah, I went to them. I think it's like what 4 to 6 months of school, and then you're able to obtain your CDL. And I'm like, and this dude, like, I guess they're passing out CDLs like it's candy, but only if you're an illegal immigrant, legal migrant. So hold on, give me a second. Oh, you guys hear that? Yeah, thundering. Okay, so the Department of Homeland Security, criminal illegal alien recklessly driving an 18-wheeler kills 3 in Florida. And on August 12th of 2025, Singh attempted to make an illegal U-turn through an official use only access point in St. Lucie County by blocking all lanes of the highway with his truck. Singh calls it brutal wreck, instantly killing 3 innocent people and leaving Florida families shattered. Damn, got a burp, man. So from inside the tractor, he shows that He shows the exact moment Singh decided to break U.S. highway laws as he turned his truck into traffic. His face shows no shock or remorse for his actions or the lives he destroyed. It says 3 innocent people were killed in Florida because Gavin Newsom, California Department of Motor Vehicles, issued an illegal alien a commercial driver's license. This state of governance is asinine, said Assistant Secretary Tracy McLaughlin. How many more innocent people must die before Gavin Newsom stops playing games with the safety of the American public? He doesn't care. Yeah, I mean, look at California. I mean, what the hydrants were, it had no water. I mean, that prevented the firefighters in doing their job. They found no water in that damn fire hydrants. Trump goes over there and says, "Dude, you guys didn't have any water in these hydrants. Like, what the heck? And also you didn't clean your rainforest. I'm sorry, your rainforest. You didn't clean your forest. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's how you can prevent, all these forest fires. But whatever. He doesn't. This don't care one bit. Um, we pray for the victims and their families. Secretary Nolan, DHS are working around the clock to protect the public and get these criminal illegal aliens out of America. Singh obtained a commercial driver's license in California despite having no legal right to be in the United States. Governor Newsom puts Americans' lives directly at risk by arming the illegal alien with the ability to operate a 40-ton killing machine on the U.S. highways. The reckless policy gave Singh the keys, and 3 innocent people paid with their lives. ICE issued an immigration detainer on August 16th after Singh was arrested to ensure he remains in custody after his state prosecution prevented him from slipping back into American streets. The detainer ensures he will be transferred to ICE custody the moment his criminal case concludes. Well, I don't. You know what? I think he shouldn't be deported, and then you know what I'm saying, because he should serve time here in the States because of what he did. Because if we release him over there in his country, who's to say that he's gonna be walking around like a free man? He's gonna be a free man in his country. You know what I'm saying? Took the lives of, made a bonehead move and took the lives of 3 people. And he's gonna get deported to he may get deported to his country to walk free over there. I mean, I don't know. Maybe they'll have him locked up over there. I don't know. Who knows? But I think he should just do his time here. I mean, he's been here since 2008. Yeah, some say, oh yeah, it was under the Trump administration, but the Trump administration denied his you'll see here now that we're talking about it, because Newsom did some trolling on Trump, which I really believe Newsom is trying to act like Trump now and try to, because let's face it, I believe this dude's going to run in 2028. I mean, but he's trying to basically match the same energy as Trump, in my opinion. Trump was a troll on social media, or is a troll on social media, and Newsom's just trying to match that same energy. So hold on, give me a second. And you know what? Ron DeSantis says the same thing too. See, okay, yeah, here it is right here. Let's listen to. Yeah, so apparently he couldn't he couldn't, oh, hold on. I'm not even sharing it. Bruh. Duh, Josh, here you go. Bam, money. Here you go, guys. Sorry about that.
Where you had an illegal alien truck driver that got a commercial driver's license in the state of California, employed by a California company, kill 3 people in Florida. This guy didn't even speak English. We're bringing him up on charges. He's going to face a lot. And I can announce, Jesse, that I said initially the company needs to be held accountable. And we've been working with the federal government, and they are pulling that company's license to do business because you cannot employ somebody who cannot read the road signs. Where you had an illegal alien truck driver.
Yeah, somehow he was able to obtain his damn CDL, and it's what? He can't even read it. He can't even he didn't doesn't even speak English and can't even read. Are we serious? I mean, really? Apparently we are because they he was able to do all that. It says breaking Eric Daugherty on says breaking Marco Rubio just froze issuing all worker visas from commercial truck drivers after the illegal alien drove from California and killed 3 in Florida by making an illegal U-turn, unable to read English. The increased number of foreign drivers operating large tractor trailer trucks on U.S. roads is endangering American lives and undercutting the livelihoods of American truckers. Thank you, Marco. See, it's funny because I read several hours ago that he was thinking about doing it, but actually, they say it's acting actually on it. So, um, wow, that's good. He said, President Fox, the governor, the Governor Ron DeSantis chimed in on the case. He made it known that Florida and the Trump administration are now fully aligned in their response. This is what's happening when sanctuary policies spill over into the rest of the country and the case into the free state. And in this case, into the free state. Let's see here what the scientists is saying.
This is an example of those sanctuary policies spilling over into the rest of the country. And in this case, the free state of Florida. And yes, there were 3 people killed by a guy who should have never been in our country, should have never gotten work authorization, and certainly should not have been issued 2 commercial driver's license. But I will tell you this, since this happened, what have you seen? We have the lieutenant governor of Florida bringing him back. He's going to face serious justice. The Trump administration immediately, when this came to light, yanked the business license of the trucking company that employed this guy. And Florida, we're going to go after this company too, because yes, I blame the sanctuary policies, but how as a company do you put somebody on the road who doesn't understand English, knowing what kind of safety hazard that is? So it's a much different response from Florida under my leadership and under President Trump's leadership at the federal government. So it's a big tragedy, but I think the response has been very robust in a good way. I think to hold California accountable, what you're really going to need is Congress to defund sanctuary states and to reel in the laws that are allowing people to game the asylum system. He came from India, halfway around the world, illegally crosses the southern border, and then somehow makes a bogus asylum claim. That is not right.
Well, my thing is that why wasn't he deported? And I'm being real, and I'm I'm not I'm gonna ask why wasn't he deported in the beginning? in 2018. They knew that he was an illegal. Why was he able to stay here from 2018 till now? Well, yeah, until now. Yeah, I understand he was in the sanctuary city. Most of those illegals now that are getting deported, they're getting deported from these in these sanctuary cities. So that's just that's my opinion. Like, why all of a sudden now we gotta, you know what I'm saying? Like, I get you see what I'm saying? I mean, am I making sense? I mean, sometimes I'll talk and I'll ramble, not make any sense. But in this case, they knew he was an illegal alien, and he was still been able to stay in this country. And I do understand it was President Trump's first term, and he was fighting to get that wall up and get these border. And I understand people sneak in no matter what. You know what I'm saying? You get what I'm saying? But if they knew they had it on his radar, and one could argue, yes, some of Obama's people were still in some of the stuff, and yeah, Trump was learning, who to trust and who not to trust, which I don't get that. Which, in quite fairness, has sponsored freaking Lindsay's scam. So, uh, so you would think that he would know his enemies by now. But I mean, yeah, I get it. His first term, he's trying to learn, who his enemies are. But I'm in that sense. This is where my opinion goes, and this is where that goes is why wasn't he, Mr. Singh, deported from the beginning? Yes, he was in a sanctuary city, but we are now we're going after the illegal immigrants in the sanctuary cities too, but also around the country. Why was it? Why now? Okay. All of a sudden, you see what I'm saying? So it's, I don't know. Just, I just question that. I have questions about that. Yep. And it says here that let me get this pop in here. AB 60 driver's license, California DMV. Says here AB 60 driver's license are for individuals who are unable to provide proof of legal presence in the United States, but who meet California DMV requirements and are able to provide proof of identity in California residence. Wait. Bruh. Oh my gosh. You need okay. But how can they meet DMV requirements when they're not when they're not able to provide proof of legal presence in the United States? See, this part right there tells me everything. I don't even have to go further, but I like deep diving in stuff most of the time too. So that's why my podcasts run longer. But this is, I said, this tells me all I need to know right here. Bam, reading this headline here. I mean, anybody who, American citizen, we're, you have to show proof of where residence. You have to show your birth certificate. You have to show this. You have to show that. I'm surprised you haven't had to give blood yet. I mean, you know what I'm saying? But so you can trace your lineage all the way, are you really American? Oh, you know what I'm saying? So, but we have to go through, as Americans, we have to go through all that stuff. But, illegal immigrants, I'm not going to call them undocumented undocumented people because I don't give a shit. They're criminals, man. You come in here illegally, you're a freaking criminal. Point blank. You go through all my other podcast shows, and I'm consistent. You're a freaking criminal, straight up. Until you go the right way. I'm not against immigration. It's you got to go through it legally. It says check your eligibility, complete the application, pass the test, knowledge test. How can you pass the knowledge? Okay, well, hold on. It says you will need to take and pass a knowledge test. It is available in more than 40 languages. Study the driver's handbook. Also available in multiple languages. Schedule an appointment to take your test at a DMV office. Wow. Yeah. I found something that I don't know. I'll have to go through my I'll have to go through my just be glad you guys can't hear that. But and then I asked if by any chance if may a foreign driver with an employment this is from the Federal Motor Carrier Safety Administration. May a driver with an employment authorization document obtain a CDL to obtain a CMV in the United States. It says may a foreign driver with an employment authorization document obtain a CDL to operate a CMV in the United States. Yes, a foreign driver holding an employment authorization document on an unexpired foreign passport or an unexpired foreign passport accompanied by an approved Custom and Borders CB. That has nothing to do with the CDL. Well, actually, yes, it does. Actually, commercial driver's license. Okay, CMV. What the hell does that stand for? Commercial vehicle. In the United States, probably that's what it is. You know what? Let's see. Let's see here. I don't want to give. Let's look this up. No, that's not it. Okay. So anyway, an unexplained foreign passport. Okay. So a foreign driver holding an employment authorization document or an unexpired foreign passport accompanied by an approved Custom and Border Protection CBP I-94 arrival and departure record may obtain a non-domicile CDL. However, drivers who are citizens of Canada and Mexico are not eligible for non-domicile CDLs because FMCSA has determined that commercial license issued by Canada, Providence and Territories, and United Mexico states or Mexican states are in accordance with the standard established by our rules. Therefore, all Mexican and Canadian drivers must have an appropriate commercial license from his or her home country. Finally, a foreign driver who is in this country on an employment authorization document or an unexpired foreign 8471 passport accompanied by an approved CBP I-94 arrival departure record may not obtain a CDL resident CDL since he or she is not domiciled in the United States. It's defined on S383.5 state of domicile. Sorry, I'm thinking here. I'm thinking. Hmm. Yeah. So yeah, I just had to ask that question because I'm brainstorming around here when I was looking up at this. So my thing is that he caused a car crash and and causing three people to get killed. He made a bonehead move, illegal U-turn. So he went from he was able to leave Florida and they found them in Stockton, California. There's talk that it said that he ended up he was going to leave from California to go back to his own country. But remember, he wanted asylum here because he was scared to return back to his country, blah blah. But he was going to go back to his country after this. That's that's what word on the street was. It's that when he went back to California, he was going to him and the passenger was purchased plane tickets to back to his country. But which how how was he able? That's my question. Why he had an accident here? How was he able to go back from Florida? How was he? How was he able to leave Florida and go to California, back to California? I don't get that part. I talked to my wife about it. And she's like, well, they didn't have any. He was under the investigation. But if he's under investigation, why is he able? Was he able to leave Florida? You see what I'm saying? That's just my that's my thought. It's just yeah, they didn't have to prove it at the time until they probably saw this video. I mean, we can speculate, but was he able? Why was he able to leave Florida? That's my thing, and why they had to go. The fact that matters is that they had to go all the way to the freaking California to go pick him up and extradite his ass to come back to Florida to face trial. Like, really? Like, so if you know what I'm saying, I make a bonehead move like this, you mean I can pick up and leave somewhere and just hightail it and run probably you know what I mean? Like, no, you're staying, I don't get it. And plus on top of that, he's an illegal he's an illegal immigrant. So like, I mean, that's not making sense to me either. You see what I'm saying? There's a lot of holes in here. Yo, hit that like button, guys. Hit that like button. Or, don't be a weirdo. Just let's go. Appreciate you guys for watching though. Yeah, well, welcome you crazy mofos. But yeah. Went over that. And give me a second. I'm gonna screen share that real quick and bam money. I just have questions on this, man. It makes to me, I was able to do all that. So they picked up the man, he's not, now he's, the man is accused of killing three people. Blah, blah, blah. Yeah, we know that. Okay. Lieutenant Governor Jay Collins said in a post on X that he personally escorted Singh to a plane to be flown back to Florida, where he faced charges of vehicular homicide. Photos show Collins holding Singh's arm, and Singh was in handcuffs and appeared to keep his head down. They personally escorted the thug who took the lives of the three Floridians. Harjinder Singh should never have been in this country and never should have been granted a CDL by California. Yeah, that's true. That's fact right there. Reckless policies put communities at risk, and Florida won't. Excuse me. Damn, I have to give up pasta too. Gosh, dang it. Seriously? Yeah, man, I'm getting all this acidy stuff going on, man. Sorry, guys. But anyway, and Florida won't stand for it. This dude looks like he looks like a damn leprechaun, bro. Mr. J Collins Luke. Someone tells me he's about 5'2" or 5'1" or maybe 5 foot for that matter. Looks like a leprechaun. But yeah. Look at it's Gavin Newsom right there. Yeah, he's dude, I have it all. But let's check this out real quick. Let's share this tab instead. It's from Fox News.
New details on a U-turn crash that killed 3 people. Officials say the illegal immigrant charged with causing it had major shortcomings on his driver's test. So why was he given a commercial license? It's a question a lot of people are asking this morning. Good morning. I'm Dana Perino. Bill Hemmer is off. Good morning again.
Good morning to you as well. Good to be with you. This story has so many layers to it, doesn't it? It really does. I'm Bill Malugian. This is America's Newsroom. And listen to this. The Department of Transportation is revealing the suspect completely flunked tests on both English proficiency and road signs. Now, despite those failures, he was still somehow able to get commercial driver's licenses from the sanctuary states of California and Washington.
Federal officials blaming Democrats, saying their lax policies put lives
Hold
at
on.
risk.
Washington too?
Crash that killed 3
shit.
people.
Sorry,
Officials
guys.
say the illegal immigrant again.
Good morning to you as well. Good to be with you.
Washington too? Well, I mean, Washington is a sanctuary city too, or a sanctuary, yeah. Wow. Sanctuary state, city, same thing to me.
This story has so many layers to it, doesn't it? It really does. The suspect completely flunked tests on both English proficiency and road signs. Now, despite those failures, he was still somehow able to get commercial driver's licenses from the sanctuary states of California and Washington.
Federal officials blaming Democrats, saying their lax policies put lives at risk.
Gavin Newsom's DMV gave this individual a commercial driver's license to drive around an 18-wheeler. We know the responsibility that comes with that. And it was pretty shocking, really, that they would be so dismissive of 3 American lives, 3 innocents that were lost because of their policies.
So if California hadn't given him a CDL,
right,
those 3 people might still be alive.
They would still be alive today. Pretty shocking.
Jonathan Seri has a story from Atlanta. Good morning.
Good morning to you, Dana. 28-year-old Harjinder Singh is expected back in Florida later this week to face state charges of vehicular homicide. He's currently being held in California without bond. He appeared in court yesterday with the help of an interpreter. He agreed to sign paperwork for his extradition, and Florida authorities must pick him up by August 27. Singh was driving on Florida's Turnpike last week when authorities say he attempted an illegal U-turn, blocking oncoming traffic. A minivan slammed into the trailer, killing 3 Florida residents inside. Following the wreck, investigators with the U.S. DOT gave Singh an English language proficiency test. According to a DOT press release, the driver failed the assessment, providing correct responses to just 2 of 12 verbal questions and only accurately identifying 1 of 4 highway traffic signs. Because Singh...
Hold on. What? But somehow he got his freaking license and CDL. He's got his CDL license. Wow. Wow. Meanwhile, Americans gotta, make sure there's some Americans that fail their driving test at the first time, and then whatever the case is because they couldn't read, they didn't answer the question correctly, but whatever. But yeah, they we're gonna fail them, but we'll pass these illegal immigrants. Yeah, it makes sense to me. It just makes a lot of sense.
Singh, who entered the U.S. from Mexico in 2018, is an asylum seeker from India. The DOT says Washington state violated federal guidelines by issuing him a full-term commercial driver's license in 2023. And they believe New Mexico State Police may have failed to assess his English skills during a roadside inspection. Additionally, the DOT says it's investigating whether California acted within federal guidelines when it issued Singh a limited-term CDL in 2024.
You have people that are in Congress that are complaining about what happened. And while I appreciate the sympathy, it's like, you guys have the power of the purse. You can discipline these states that don't follow the law and incentivize law breaking.
And according to federal records, the California trucking company Singh worked for had no reported crashes over the past 2 years. We reached out to them for comment. We're waiting to hear back. Dana?
Okay, Jonathan, Sari, thank you. We'll have more on this in a little bit.
In the meantime,
Wow. Bruh. So I go to the National Immigration Law Center. Damn it. So I'm gonna type in driver's license here. See ya. Yeah, nothing going on here, folks. Just being boring. Here you go. So how California driver license records are shared with the Department of Homeland Security. Records are shared with the Department of Homeland Security. Wow, this must be an old. Okay, so it's California driver license in 2018. 2013, California legislature passed AB 60, the Safe and Responsible Driver Act. AB 60 created a landmark driver's license program for immigrants, giving immigrants are given the opportunity to obtain a California driver's license yields significant benefits to the state, communities, and drivers. Train, test, and issue drivers improved public safety. Drivers who have licenses can go and about their daily lives with the ability to identify themselves to law enforcement and to businesses with the knowledge that they won't be ticketed or have their cars impounded based on their lack of a license. Huh. AB 60, which became effective in 2015, allows individuals to apply for driver's license in California, regardless of their immigration status, and without proving that they are lawfully present in the United States. To obtain, how's this, dude? How is this freaking? How is this? Wow. To obtain a driver's license this is just a driver's license, AB 60, an individual must submit proof of identity and proof of residency in California. Now, I know last year they said something about sponsors, and I don't know if this guy's was sponsored. I mean, or not. I mean, I don't know, and I don't. I'm just. Who knows if he was sponsored or not. So, I mean, I don't know, but still, he was an illegal immigrant. He was an illegal alien. He was illegal. He was illegal. So. An individual must submit proof of identity and proof of residency in California. In addition, applicants must provide either a social security number or certify in their driver's license application, known as a DL44 form, that they are not eligible for a social security number. To date, over 1 million drivers in California have obtained an AB 60 license. Under the Federal Real ID Act, states must meet certain requirements in order for state driver's license to be acceptable as identification for certain federal purposes, referred to in this report as a Real ID license. The Real ID Act has authorized the assurance of sorry, I'm getting dry mouth here. Specifically marked licenses that do not meet those requirements, referred to as a non-Real ID license. In order to comply with the Real ID Act, California now issues 2 licenses: a Real ID license that can be accepted by federal agencies for official purposes, and a non-Real ID license that cannot be accepted by federal agency. Individuals who are eligible for a Real ID license can choose either to obtain a Real ID license or instead obtain a non-Real ID license. Applicants for driver's license under AB 60 receive non-Real ID licenses. The Real ID license has markings to distinguish it from a Real ID license. The front of the California non-Real ID license is marked "Federal limits only." Federal limits apply, and the back is marked "This card is not acceptable for official federal purposes." This license is issued only as a license to drive a motor vehicle. Hmm. Wow. Wow. This is the first time I did not know that. Wow. It says here confidentiality protection for California drivers' personal information. Now they care about their personal information. California law protects the confidentiality of information about California drivers and prohibits discrimination against drivers based on the type of license they present. Nevertheless, many immigrants have expressed concerns that the information provided for a non-Real ID license will be used against them by immigration agents or rogue police officers. Wow. As described below, the California Department of Motor Vehicles, DMV, makes certain information from its driver's license and vehicle registration database available to law enforcement agencies, including the Department of Homeland Security. And immigration agents in DHS agencies such as enforcement and removal operation components of U.S. immigration and customs enforcement. This was the case long before AB 60 was enacted. However, DMV stated that it does not inform DHS agencies whether an individual possesses an AB 60 license or provide DH agencies with the identity or residence documents and an individual provided to DMV as part of the driver's license application. DMV also stated that it does not provide DHS agencies with a copy of individual's physical driver's license. Wow. Tell me you ain't protecting them without telling me you're not protecting them. That you are protecting them. I'm sorry, I said that. I said you protecting them. What? Our purpose in this paper is to provide as much information as possible and about how and what information is shared with the Department of Homeland Security and its agencies so that California residents can effectively weigh the risks and benefits of obtaining a driver's license. California, I love how they put residents, California residents, when they're illegal immigrants. Some of them are, you know what I mean, are illegal. You know what I'm saying? But I'm differentiating the two, legal and illegal. You know what I'm saying? So we make recommendations at the close of the paper about the steps California Department of Justice, CADOJ, and DMV can take to further protect the confidentiality of DMV information and limits its use of civil immigration enforcement. So, and you guys can go to National Immigration Law Center. Yeah, it's the NILC.org. So yeah, it's out there that this dude was like he was scared to go back to his country, but the thing about it is that if he seek asylum, I don't know. I read something today about. Hold on, give me a second. Hold, please. Anyway, so yeah, where was I at? Let me see here. You guys can bear with me for a couple minutes. I know I read something about him, how this dude's like, I'm scared to go back to my country, blah blah blah, and all this horse crap just to get asylum. Yeah. So anyway. Yeah, I'm not gonna waste too much time on it, but yeah, that's basically it. I'm gonna see if what Newsom.
California, commercial driver's license in California. So the big story of the week, clearly this Harjinder Singh, illegal immigrant, I could say invader, I'll call him that, from India, gets a CDL in California, commercial driver's license in California. We're showing the video, and Tricia, it's so hard to watch because the coldness of this man. He makes an illegal U-turn. A family of three plows into the side of him. They die. Three Americans die, and this guy is pulling an illegal turn, and he has absolutely no emotions. I'll let you start here, and then we can talk a little bit about it. Guys, keep rolling the video because it deserves viewing. Those are three Americans who are slammed into the side of that illegal turn, and the man is an illegal driver, illegal immigrant, and he has no remorse whatsoever. Tricia.
Eric, what a heart-wrenching story, and how preventable. This illegal alien came into our country in 2018. He applied for work authorization under the Trump administration. He was denied. And then coming 9 months later, the Biden administration took over. He applied then, and he was granted that. Then comes Governor Newsom, who his Department of Motor Vehicles grants him a commercial driver's license. So he was able to legally operate this 18-wheeler, which is, of course, is such a huge responsibility, and led to this deadly, horrible, brutal crash and the taking of three innocent lives. And I absolutely blame Governor Newsom for what happened here. This individual should have never had this commercial driver's license to be able to be on our American roads. Floridians should not have had to pay the price for his reckless policies.
Governor DeSantis here in Florida has been on Fox, and he's saying we're going to hold this guy as long as we can and keep him and make him, pay the price of what he did here. In essence, basically vehicular homicide, I think they're charging him with, and let him pay his price here. I want to get into the Newsom thing in just a second, but tell us, again, a CDL, commercial driver's license, granted in the state of California. Why is he even allowed to go across state lines? Is this a federal offense now? Does this become, are you guys going to take it out of the state hands and elevate it to a federal offense?
That's something we're certainly looking into, Eric. But the other piece of this is that these driver's licenses are not nationally issued, but they're issued state by state. But Secretary Duffy at Department of Transportation and Secretary Noem here at Department of Homeland Security have already spoken, and our teams are actively working together to see how we can prevent something like this from happening in the first place, that these sanctuary jurisdictions should not be handing out these driver's licenses to illegal aliens. And how do we, at the federal level, hold those state jurisdictions accountable so this doesn't ever happen again?
If you do kind of, I don't know if you can criminalize sanctuary jurisdictions. If I know Trump is trying to at least pull back funding. If you're going to call yourself a sanctuary, you're violating federal law.
Yeah, you should.
And then therefore will pull back funding. But if you can somehow criminalize that act, then maybe you can, anything that happens from an illegal that has been granted sort of immunity in their own sanctuary city or state, doing something illegal or breaking the law outside the state, you can absolutely deport them immediately. It should be a no-brainer, but it's a little bit more difficult than that, isn't it?
Absolutely. But I think what you're saying with President Trump, even just here in Washington, D.C., with the federal takeover, is that he's keeping everything on the table. He's willing to take extraordinary measures because there's an extraordinary crisis. Fortunately, he saw the crisis at the southern border, but we still have hundreds of thousands of criminal illegal aliens walking around American streets with impunity, and we need to stop it. So we're keeping all options on the table, whether it be lawsuits against these sanctuary cities, sanctuary jurisdictions, or even pulling federal funding, as Attorney General Pam Bondi has mentioned before.
This is.
Yeah. So this is why, at first I was thinking, I'm like, because you hear about Trump, enforcing like something that about it says, I'll just go here. I'm gonna explain and try to explain it to you guys because I'm a visual person. So I asked, of course, Trump truck driver, President Donald Trump has implemented policies focused on enforcing English proficiency among commercial truck drivers, framing it as a crucial safety measure. In April 2025, Trump signed an executive order mandating that all truck drivers must demonstrate proficiency in English, emphasizing that drivers should be able to read and understand traffic signs, communicate with law enforcement and officials, and make entries on reports and records in English. This directive builds upon a long-standing federal requirement that had not been strictly enforced since 2016, when the Obama administration allowed drivers with limited English skills to receive citations without being taken out of service. Wow. Man, my gosh. Hear that, guys? Oh, bummer. The renewed enforcement, which took effect in June 2025, directs the Department of Transportation and the Federal Motor Carrier Safety Administration to rescind prior lenient guidance and implement stricter compliance measures. Under the new rules, drivers who fail an English proficiency test consisting of an interview and traffic sign recognition during roadside inspections may be placed out of service, meaning they cannot legally operate a commercial vehicle until they meet the language standard. The use of the translation apps, interpreters, or cue cards during inspection is now prohibited. Wow, this is my first time seeing this. I heard about what he did, Trump, but this is my first time going through this. Trump administration officials, including transportation secretary Sean. First, maybe I should get my damn license revoked. No, my driver's license. For a minute, dude, I thought this was Sean 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 P. Diddy. I thought like what? I'm like, I thought he was talking about Diddy. I was like, what the? I was like, let me read this again. Like, make sure it says what it says. Oh, Sean P. Duffy. Oh, for some reason, I thought that was Diddy, bro. I don't know why. This is Sean P. I'm like, what the? Hold on, I'm gonna put on my damn reading glasses. I think something's But anyway, having asserted that the policy is a non-negotiable safety requirement aimed at reducing accidents linked to miscommunication or failure to understand road signs. The policy follows incidents such as a 2019 crash in Lakewood, Colorado, where the trucking company was found to have a multiple safety violation, including drivers with weak English skills. Yeah, guys, this is the reason why. This is the reason why. This is the right reason why. I mean, I don't see anybody else. I just it's got to happen, dude. It's got to happen. This is I don't you gotta follow. This is I'm a firm believer in law and order, man. Law and order. You gotta follow the laws of the land that you're in. Yeah, I mean, I would, you know what, if I lived somewhere else like in Europe or any other country, I know I would have to learn how to speak their language and able to get around and know how to drive around their towns or cities. It's common sense. And I would expect to earn my way to be a citizen of that country. But somehow people that are half brain dead don't understand. Oh, why are they going to be? What can you just give them license? Let them all be included. No, because you're freaking illegal, man. This is the reason why. 3 people lost their lives over some dumb shit. This is dumb. Yeah, this is some dumb shit. Yeah, I said what I said. I thought I was gonna stop cursing as much, but sometimes it needs to happen. I was like, what? This is my first time reading about this. I'm not diving into it that deep, but it's it is what it is. I mean, that could be your, look at that illegal alien back. I did a podcast on it a month or so ago. The illegal alien freaking killed a couple of teenagers they were at a stoplight, and he rammed he ran into them from behind or whatever it was, in their cars, and killed them. 2 girls. It was the Selena Gomez one that I did on Unlawful Tears, because she was crying about, oh, the kids, illegal immigrants, my people, blah blah blah, yada yada yada. And I'm like, bro, like, seriously, are you crying for them? You just see what I'm saying? Like, this is the reason why. The dude was drunk, but still, I mean, it could have happened, but he was an illegal alien, and he was on his halfway almost to Mexico, and they caught him. The marshals caught him. Like, yes, I blame Gavin Newsom for this, man. He's giving out freaking driver's licenses like Skittles. Yeah. And also, why wasn't he deported earlier? I just got questions on that. I mean, maybe whatever, but I just, yeah, he was in a sanctuary city. But just like I said earlier, it's well, if we're deporting, getting ICE into these sanctuary cities and deporting the illegal immigrants, then why didn't he get deported earlier? I don't know, and I don't, what I'm saying, just so many unanswered questions that I'm trying to make sense of. But this right here, the license part, is Gavin Newsom's fault, and also that company that gave him that helped him obtain that CDL. Yep. So anyway, including expanding truck, it says in addition, the English mandate, the administration has introduced broader initiatives under a pro trucker package, including expanding truck parking, reducing regulatory burdens, and cracking down on safety violations. On August 22nd, 2025, the administration also announced an immediate freeze on work visas for foreign commercials truck drivers, citing public safety and economic protection for American truckers. Secretary of State Marco Rubio stated that the increasing number of foreign drivers pose a risk to American lives. I'd like to know how many foreign drivers do we have? Anyway, that's another story for another day. When some truckers while some truckers support the English requirement as a way to improve safety and ensure clear communication on the roads, others, particularly non-native English speakers, express concerns about potential job loss due to accents or nervousness during inspections. Yeah. Oh. Well, the nervousness I can get, I get pulled over, I stutter, you know what I'm saying? I do a podcast, I stutter, it's part of, I get it in a sense, but yeah, your accent is maybe thick, but I mean, I know some, I believe it or not, I know some people that have thick accents and they speak better English than I do. Like, bro, you know what I mean? Like, that was like, they're like, I had one friend. He was Haitian. And he had a thick accent. He's like, bro, am I speaking English? Because some of these people don't understand. I'm like, yeah, man, I understand you fine. Like, what the heck? I don't understand why they can't understand you. But anyway, you know what I mean. So I'm like, what? So it says critics, including industries experts, questions the direct link between English proficiency and accident rates. Critics, including industry experts, question the direct link between English proficiency and accident rates, noting that most crashes are caused by factors like speed, impaired driving, or weather conditions. True, but you got to be able to read this. Okay, but you also got to be able to read the sign too. The speed limit sign. Oops, failed on that one, guys. Weather conditions, same thing. You got to be able to read the signs. Impaired driving. I mean, that's between you and that everybody with common sense got to know you can't drive, drunk, or you can't drive sleeping. You know what I mean? Or if you need glasses or you can't see, but that to me, the noting that most crashes are caused by factors like speed. Well, I mean, yeah, true, impaired driving or weather conditions, but once again, in order to prevent that, they have to be able to read the signs, though. I don't know. I'm just a dumbass. I don't know, man. Just I don't know. Just get common sense once again. When in this case, this dude, I hope this, that some say that the reason why ICE put a detainer on him is because in case somehow some way the case fails, which I don't understand that, but if he happens not to be guilty, ICE can take him and deport him back to his country. So, I mean, that's it. So, anyway, yeah, that's all I got to say about that. I mean, I know I went off and did this, swerving in and out of the lane, on this podcast. But hey, this is just me, man. This is off the cuff, you know, and stuff. The podcast, man. It's it. But it all ends up joined together. So, and like I said, they Newsom was like, ooh, saying something. I'm trying to see if let me see if I can find it, dude, because it's very funny. Because Newsom tries to troll Trump, and then yeah, I think this is the one that's it here. Hold on, and then I'll leave you guys. I'll end up leaving you guys. Oh, this is him. Gavin Newsom. Which he doesn't. Boom. Boom. Damn. That's funny. I was like, what? Newsom trying to freaking troll, man. That's it. That's the dude, bro. I'm telling you, man, he can't troll, bro. You can't out troll Trump, man. For real. I'm gonna give you that. You cannot out troll Trump, man. He's the biggest Trump on them all. Him and Elon, shoot. The Trump man got trolling skills, bro. I'll tell you that much. But anyway, all right, guys. Well, what's hopefully this guy does time and and doesn't and because this there's no way in hell he should have been in this country to begin with and driving. There's other talks to where I believe they were saying, some people were saying that I think it's like a couple years ago, like he drove a Mack truck over a bridge at a certain poundage or whatever the case is, and causing a whatever. But I don't know if that was him or not. But it made it seem like it was related to him. But yeah, dude, I don't. To be honest with you, dude, I'm. People are like, oh, like I said earlier, oh, this thing a terrorist attack. Well, it's not a terror. Just because this dude's from another country, you know. When he said that, when I heard that on TikTok, I was like, bro, you're reaching, bro. He just made this the illegal immigrant made a bonehead move. Made a bonehead move. He shouldn't have been driving in this country, period. But that's it. That's I'll leave it like that. Yo, like, share, and subscribe. Thank you for watching, guys. Hey, viewing is good, man. Viewing is good. Oh, dude, why am I so fuzzy? Am I sitting too back? Hold on. Yeah, I don't know why I'm fuzzy, man. Oh, look at that. What the hell? Anyway, let's go to happy endings. You guys are gonna like this one. I promise you guys are gonna like this. Don't go anywhere yet, guys. Don't go anywhere yet. Chill out. Chill out. Here we go. Dude, why am I so freaking... Bam, money. Look at... Can you see the pimples on my face? Anyway, let's go to happy endings, folks. And then we'll call it a night. Thank you for watching, though. Appreciate you guys. It's people that are using the VR. My mom's first VR experience was a bit of a disaster. So, it's just people who are using the VR, stuff. I'm gonna tell you a quick story real quick. When I used this the VR thing at my brother-in-law's house, the controller slipped and I hit the wall and I was like, what the heck? Because I was, you get right in, you get into it, bro. It's like, it's a cool experience, but I'm like, damn, I can see why people act the way like this too. Trust me, man. I think to be able to experience this, you need to be either outside or in a padded room. It's crazy. Check this out.
Good. I'm done. Should I just run and jump up? Yeah. Okay.
Oh, damn. Look at that.
You did?
Bruh. Oh,
Crazy guys doing it with a drill.
oh. Run, boy, run. Bro went home immediately after this. I was like, no, what game that was. Bro, that's
Clapper.
crazy. That's nuts. All right, guys. Drop a like, comment, subscribe. Let me know what you guys think about this whole situation here. And I am gonna tune in. I'm gonna do a podcast because it's election season, midterms. No, give me a second. Yes, because we need to talk about midterms here. We have to talk about midterms here, and period. So, I'm going to try to find me a guest. If you guys want to be a guest on on the podcast, we could talk about it. Email me. I didn't put my email out. Give me a second. You can email me or message me. Of course, I'm gonna vet your if I ain't following you on TikTok or Instagram, then I'm gonna vet you and I'll give you a yay or nay. Oh, or you can I'm also on X and stuff like that. I thought I had my dang email address. Bruh. Okay, anyway. Slibber Def podcast 47@gmail.com. Yep. Liberty or Deaf podcast 47@gmail.com. If you want to, of course I'm gonna vet you and stuff like that. So, hey yo, you could come on, man. Come on. You know what I'm saying? If I like I said, if I don't know you, I'll just vet you and then I'll tell you yay or nay right off the bat. I don't, when I invite people in my podcast, I always it's the people that, I know that are following on their socials. But if I don't know you, I'll let you know too. So anyway, let me know what you guys think. Hit me up, at Liberty Def podcast 47@gmail.com because we got to talk about midterms. We could talk about midterms in your state or whatever the case is, or we can, because I know I'm going to vote for Byron Donalds. So, period. So anyway, we got to talk about midterms, but between all this chaos and stuff like that that's going on. So, and plus, I don't like the guy that's going in midterms in Florida. Let me see. I wonder who is. I gotta look. I'll look him up. but I know he's a Democrat who, you know, is going, and he's pro sec. He's second to against this. He said he's for the Second Amendment, but the way he responded to a news reporter is like, "What? Like, bro, you ain't for the Second Amendment." But yeah, tune in on that. Yeah, because we need to talk about midterms. So amidst all this chaos. But yeah, thanks for watching. Appreciate you guys and girls, women, you know. So yeah, appreciate you men and women. Oh, now I'm playing guitar. Anyways, have a good night. Have a good weekend. Let's end stream. Bingo. Yeah.